Credit where credit's due. Perhaps the government is finally starting to get its head around the fact life needs to return to normal. Not a new normal, but the normal of February 2020. A normal that allows individuals to judge risk factors when making sensible decisions about their own lives. There is nowhere more critical on that front than the future of masks. Boris, it's time to unmuzzle us. Let us rip off our masks next month after the delayed Freedom Day by removing any laws surrounding their usage. As your own research shows, that's the only way many businesses, especially those in hospitality and live events, will survive. It's got to be down to personal responsibility from now on and the right to claim back what we wear and which parts of our bodies we cover up. If people want to keep wearing masks, then fine. I mean, I'll only judge you a little bit if you do so outside on your own, just putting that out there. But I'm finally feeling a small dose of positivity today. And actually, this is a weird one. It's thanks to the Environment Minister, George Eustice, who, it has to be said, doesn't usually inspire much euphoria in the population. But his response when asked if he would continue to wear a mask beyond our new July Freedom Day was this: "Once I'm told that it's safe not to, I want to get back to normal. I think a lot of people will want to shed those masks." Go George. And the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, echoed this message later in the day. When asked if he would stop wearing a face covering if it only becomes advisory after July the 19th, the Chancellor told a summit, yes, as soon as possible. As Laura Dodsworth, the author of the best-selling book The State of Fear, explained to me so powerfully on the show last night, the government has spent the past 15 months terrifying the population. Some say that's been a necessary evil to protect public health, but in my opinion, it's gone too far. Now we're at a turning point, and it's essential that senior figures in power give the public, many of whom, let's remember, remain terrified, reassurance that resuming normal life is going to be safe again. So well done to Eustice and to Sunak today for starting that process. But much more work on that front is needed. I was actually struck today by a column by the Sunday Telegraph's editor, Alistair Heath. It was published in the Daily Telegraph today, and I think it sums up our quagmire perfectly. I wanted to share with you some of his words. Alistair wrote, "What has happened to Britain? Why does it feel as if almost uniquely we will never quite recover from COVID? The pandemic is almost over, and yet it has changed Britain far more profoundly than countries with different political traditions. Until COVID, it would have been unthinkable for a government to shut airports. Now it's just another tool to fight disease. We have normalised the abnormal. This applies equally to economics. If printing money works for COVID, why not for HS2? If higher benefits buy votes during a pandemic, why not all the time? Decline and fall takes many forms." I hope the Cabinet all read that column by Alistair Heath today and understand the perilous position the country is facing unless normality resumes. Moving on, and I have to say, I have the utmost respect for Britney Spears. Over the years, I've been lucky enough to have met her and interviewed her, but putting that aside, I actually just love her as a genuine fan. Despite so much pressure as a young woman, she fought so many demons to return to the top of the charts following her very public breakdown. Out of respect for Britney, I had never publicly joined the hashtag Free Britney movement. I wanted to wait to hear her full story in her own words and not rely on those sensational or sensationalist documentaries of which she had questioned the veracity. But last night, all of that changed with her heartbreaking 24-minute statement in court. Britney deserves to be free. The last time I saw her in 2018 while on tour in London, it was obvious to me just how sad she had become. And now I know why. Britney actually told the court last night, "I was on tour in 2018. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney, and by contract, my own management could sue me if I didn't follow through with the tour. So out of fear, I went ahead and I did the tour." How terrible. Britney is no one's slave. She's one of the world's top pop stars with her own fortune who should be able to make decisions for herself. As she added to the court, I didn't want to say any of this to anybody, to the public, because I thought people would make fun of me or laugh at me and say she's lying. She's got everything. She's Britney Spears. But Britney went on to say, I'm not lying. I just want my life back. And it's been 13 years, and it's enough. Britney, no one is making fun of you. You deserve freedom and a happy life, and I hope the court does the right thing. I was also sad today to see that Winston Marshall has permanently decided to leave the band Mumford and Sons. His crime against woke, you might remember, was reading a book by the brave young journalist Andy Ngo, who was on the show earlier this week, and that book exposed the violent Antifa movement in the US. In the mad world of showbiz, that somehow warranted social media cancellation. In an essay today published on Medium, Winston wrote, I could remain and continue to self-censor, but it would erode my sense of integrity, nor my conscience. I've already felt that beginning. The only way forward for me is to leave the band. I hope in distancing myself from them, I am able to speak my mind without them suffering the consequences. What a good man. But what an indictment of narrow-minded, judgmental showbiz types.